Hello, everyone. I'm so glad that I could be here. But before I tell my story, can we give another round of applause to all the ladies that came on this stage? It is not easy to, number one, start a company from the ground up, but somehow it's even harder to pitch your vision to a group of strangers. So they did a phenomenal job, so thank you. And thank you to Denise and her team for putting on such an amazing event. So why am I standing here? Well, last year at this same event, I pitched my legal tech company, Court Buddy, for the first time, and I won. Woohoo! And now I've become the 14th African-American woman to raise over $1 million for her tech startup. Yeah. And if you check out this issue of Vanity Fair, you will find a group of 26 women, African-American women, who have raised outside capital in the millions of dollars. So we have now gone from hidden figures to visible figures. So that was an amazing, amazing thing. So you have to go get that issue. It's out now. So I'm here to tell my journey and some of the things that I learned along the way. So what I can say is that it was not easy, but it was possible. My co-founder and I come from Miami, Florida, where we started Court Buddy, and we knew nothing about the venture capital world. We didn't even know how to begin. All that we knew is that we had this company that was helping people who couldn't afford law firms get the legal assistance that they needed for the first time in their life. And this company was able to help 126 million people every single year who go into court alone. So we needed help. So how did we get there? Thankfully, we were able to get into 500 startups. It took us 2 times. And on that second try, they called us and said that we needed to fly to San Francisco to meet with their investment team. So we had 2 days to get here. And boy, was this a journey. What happens next, you cannot make up. First, traveling with a 1-year-old is a feat in its own. We missed our flight from Miami to Los Angeles. And then from LA to San Francisco, our flight was canceled. And it was 9 p.m. the day before our meeting. Instead of just opening our laptops and saying, look, 500, can we just do this by Skype? We went to the rental car place around the corner. At 9 p.m., mind you, we're on East Coast time, and drove 7 hours in not even San Francisco, California's worst winter storm. But we made it. At 3 a.m., we got to our hotel, had a couple hours to sleep, woke up, got in the car. The car would not start. I still don't know how I didn't break out into tears. But luckily, we were so sleepy, we put the car in neutral. So we finally got to 500's office 20 minutes prior to our meeting. We were both sleepy and hungry, so we went across the street, got some coffee. Now it's about 10 minutes to our meeting. We get in the elevator, hit the 6th button. We get to the 2nd floor, and the elevator stops. I remember thinking, okay, either this clearly is not for us, or we're being tested to see how bad we want this. So we get up on the 2nd floor, we run up the stairwell. Now it's like 2 minutes to our meeting, and they told us if you're late, just forget about it. So we're banging on the door, we can't get in the building. Finally, we're yelling to everyone in the stairwell, does anyone have a key? Finally, maintenance comes up, lets us in, we knock on the door, Chloe opens the door, and we acted like nothing had ever happened. Luckily to say, we got in. We had an amazing experience, which led us to this phenomenal event. So, it wasn't easy, but it was possible. And I say that because that was the start of our roller coaster. We're all gonna have our highs, we're all gonna have our lows, our upside down moments and the stomach aches. But it's in those moments that we learn how to essentially grow. And I learned in those moments to ask 3 questions. Number 1, what the heck just happened? And number 2, what can I learn from this moment? And number 3, if I have to go through this again, what will it look like the next time? Last year, pitching my company at this event, I was a completely different person. I have stretched, I have grown, and I've become so much wiser. And I've become so wise that I know I have so much more to learn. But one thing I have learned is that this journey is worth it. The ups, the downs, the twists and the turns, it has been worth it. And I've also learned that in this journey, I'm moving fast, and I might not be able to bring along the people that supported me in the past, my friends, my family, my colleagues. My mind and my journey is completely different now. But it's in spaces like this where I and you can learn how to build your tribe. It's in spaces and events like this that you're around people that are going through the same issues, the same highs, the same lows, and you can learn from each other. Last year, I just sat next to a woman who has now become like family to me. My daughter calls this woman Auntie Tay and is obsessed with her. So I'm so thankful for moments like this. And another thing that I have learned is you can never stop dreaming. Before creating Court Buddy, I was in advertising. And before I was in advertising, I knew I wanted to be in advertising. I was obsessed with ads, commercials, anything. I would play a game where when I saw an ad, I would think, okay, in less than a minute, how can I make this ad better? And if I can't make it better, how can I flip it and sell this product or service in another way? That's how my mind was operating at all times. And so I knew I wanted to be an art director. And then I became one. And I was working on brands like Walmart, Disney, SeaWorld. I had made it, and fairly quickly, because I knew exactly what I wanted. But once I got there, I couldn't see past that. And that was weird. That was a weird moment for me, because to that point, I had seen everything in my path, and I had successfully gotten it. And what made that situation even weirder is I had a co-founder and a partner that could see way into the future. He knows exactly what he wants and knows down to the penny on how much it's going to cost to get what he wants. So to be around someone like that was challenging. How come I couldn't see my next step? So I kept asking myself daily, what do you want out of life? What makes your heart sing? What, if you had to stay up until the crack of dawn every day, what do you want to be doing? And I still could not see it. But there were a few things that kept repeating. And those things were, number one, I love to promote brands that I'm obsessed with. Number two, I love connecting people that need each other. And three, this one's a little weird, but I wanted to be home working on a business while pregnant. Whatever. Then came this opportunity that my co-founder saw while he was a solo attorney in the courthouse of how many people were coming in and out on a daily basis without representation, and how many people were walking out the door with verdicts that they weren't happy with that were making their lives miserable. I mean, turning their lives around. So after hearing this months after months, we kind of thought, well, is there anything we can do about that? Why can't people afford law firms? And your colleagues, they're searching for clients. So something clearly isn't adding up. So we came up with this idea for Court Buddy. And we worked on it day in and day out while still working full-time jobs. And then something happened. I realized, wait a minute. I'm working on something that I believe in. I'm connecting people that clearly need each other. And the first month that we launched Court Buddy, I became pregnant and lost my job. Now I'm at home working on a business and I'm pregnant. Even though I couldn't see it, it was those things that kept repeating that were leading me to my next vision. So even though you might not see the next step, we have to keep asking ourselves those questions. What is it that makes my heart sing? What is it that I want to be doing to the butt crack of dawn every single day and be happy doing? And in those steps, even though we clearly don't see the picture, it's what's repeating is what's going to lead us to that next step. Another thing is, and this is really for the women in the room, sorry men, but this is our time to shine. We are in a moment right now that we are being celebrated for our successes, our resilience, and our power. And for the founders in the room, this is the moment that people are looking for us. They want to hear your voice. So if you have an idea or you have a product that you're just sitting on, this is not the time to hide. This is the time to get out and shine. When I first came to San Francisco, I quickly saw the support system that was here. We didn't have that in Miami. So every event that I saw that was female founders pitching female funders, female founders pitch to dogs, female founders pitch to the sky, I was there. And I quickly learned with every pitch I was winning. And that wasn't to stroke my ego. That was clearly telling me that we were onto something. And coming from Miami, where I didn't know what this world looked like or what it was even about, that was my aha, okay. We are onto something. People actually see this as the opportunity of a lifetime that we see ourselves. And through this process, through getting out there, putting Corporate out there, we went to a SheWorks event and met our lead investor, Drew Coven of LDR Ventures. And his thesis is he wants to invest in female minority founders. We just happened to be in the right place at the right time. And through his network, we were able to meet amazing investors like Linnea Roberts of Gingerbread Capital, Nikki Quinn of Lightspeed, X Factor, these amazing women who I look up to, but who also believed in me and my vision with Corp Buddy, and were able to get me to where I am today. And yes, we didn't get amazing woohoo goes along the way. We got the no's. But I actually started to appreciate the no's just as much as I appreciated the yeses. And I had to shift my mindset to realize the no's are going to lead me to the yes. And I realized, too, that every time I heard a no, I had to follow up with questions. Why did you say no? What was it that made you say no? And through that feedback, I learned maybe what I was saying wasn't translating the way I wanted it to. Maybe the slides that I was pitching were too confusing. But I realized I can never leave a room where I received a no without getting feedback. Because through that feedback is how I got to where I am today. And also, every time I heard a no, I asked, well, who do you know that can get me to a yes? So, I give that to you guys so that you can understand a no is a positive thing. A no you should celebrate. And a no, you should never leave a room just with that no. You should leave knowing what happened, why they said no, and who they know that can get you to a yes. I'm so glad that I could be here to share my story and my success with you guys. And I just wanted to leave telling those 3 lessons. Number 1, never give up, never stop dreaming. Number 2, enjoy the ride. We've all been on roller coasters, and if you do enjoy them, you know that feeling afterwards where you feel like you've accomplished something? Imagine if you never got on that ride. You have to enjoy it. Even though there's ups and downs, twists and turns, you always end on your feet. And also, enjoy this moment. Get out there, shine, tell the world what you're working on. Whether you're a founder, whether you're an investor, whether you're in your company, voice. Your voice is powerful, so use it. Thank you so much.